I don't know a lot about the Decred.
Kidding about printing.
Flooding the system with money.
Yes, exactly.
And there's no end to your ability to do that.
We will do whatever we need to do to make sure that there's enough cash in the bank.
I wish I was more educated on Decred. Decred. He is bullish on Decred.
Welcome. In this video, we're going to talk about the cost of attacking a chain and why security is so important to any blockchain project. And it's one of those things that's been overlooked in so many different areas, and you see all of the hype that's going on around the cryptocurrencies and the DeFi at the moment. And it seems to be one of those forgotten factors is that this whole genre is built on security, and it's really important to understand how much it would cost to attack a chain and how fragile a chain is. So we're going to look at that today. Now, I just want to say beforehand that just as a historic note for the future, that lockdown for me is now over, so I'm all back to work and starting to ramp up to kind of full participation in society again. But that being said, I've really enjoyed the last 3 to 4 months of building these Decred projects. I really feel like I've become a part of a fantastic community. My intention is to continue doing these. They might be a little less frequent, but I am going to try and aim at doing one at least every 2 weeks or one a month, just seeing how kind of time restraints go. But it is a project that I believe in. It is a project that I think has so much potential, and it's one of those projects that's just slow and steady, and it's something that's what I look for in anything that I want to invest in, anything that I want to just store my money in. It just has to be the right framework, the right kind of project, and Decred for me is that project. So without further ado, let's have a look at what protects a chain and what makes it costly to attack. So Decred is fantastic in this particular area because they actually provide all the tools for you to be able to work out how much it would cost to attack a chain. Now, there are very few, if any, that would actually provide this detail for you. And whereas this is just a starting point to learn for yourself what it would cost or how much it would cost to attack a chain, you can obviously still do more research and you can still kind of delve into this a little bit further, but the fact that they've given you a nice starting point is brilliant. Now, before we look at the cost of attacking a chain, let's look at how much Decred as a whole project is worth. And when you put into context how much Decred is worth based on how much it would cost to attack, you start to see how valuable this project is. So we have to do this in dollars because everything's kind of calculated in dollars for the attack calculator. So here we are on CoinGecko, and I've got the Decred page open, and the market cap, which is the price of the project currently as an overall thing, is currently set at about 170 million, which is absolutely huge for a project of this size. Being that Decred is only about 5 years old, so that's absolutely fantastic. So if you want to work out how much it's going to cost to attack the chain to see if Decred is secure, what we can do is head back over to the block explorer. So I'm on the Decred website, so this is decred.org, and if you click on these three lines, it opens up the main menu, and just like the last couple of videos, we're going to go into getting started and go to the block explorer. Once again, you can check if the blockchain is healthy by delving into this and delving into the charts. But today we're going to click on this menu here, and we're going to go down to the one that says attack of cost. Now, this is an absolutely fantastic thing. It's not perfect by any means, but it is a really nice starting point to find out what makes Decred so unique. So the first thing you need to understand is Decred has two parameters. It has a proof of work just like Bitcoin, but it also has a proof of stake, and these two components work side by side to secure the chain. So obviously Decred does need hashing power from the proof of work, but it also needs people to buy tickets. So what we have here is a little graph based on a whole bunch of different calculations. So the current calculation is how much hash rate it has. So on today's rate, Decred has 421 PHs of hashing power, and it has a pool size of 40,652 tickets. Now remember, the optimal size for the ticket pool is 41,000, so we're right there about. So the first thing it gives us is this ingredient. So it says, right, if an attacker has control of 20,000 tickets and it has control of the hashing rate, so 421 PHs of hashing rate, they would be able to do a 51% attack. Now, if we just skip straight to the bottom based on these values, you'll notice that the current cost of attacking on these values is over 100 million. So considering the value of the actual chain itself is 169 million, you can start to see that it's going to cost you a lot of money to attack if it was today, just for 1 hour. Now, the other thing you have to kind of remember is with tickets, if you own 20,000 tickets, they're actually locked up in the system for a number of days. And that can range from something like 21 days all the way up to something like 140. I'd have to check that, but it's quite a long period of time. I think it's up to like 3 months. So all the time you're attacking Decred, you're actually also devaluing what you have in the project, which is a really interesting thing. And this is why I believe a lot of people kind of wouldn't have the incentives to do that, just purely because, you'd literally see your money going to zero. So let's see what that actually means. So we're looking at an external factor here. If you look at the internal factor, so if you look at the factor that says that someone already owns the tickets and already has this hashing power, it obviously comes out a bit cheaper, and you can change that just by going here. But let's just look at the externals. So as you work down this little chart, you actually see some different parameters. So obviously we've got the current mainnet parameters here, which unfortunately you can't change. It would be quite nice to be able to change the hash rate, so you can actually do different calculations based on what it would look like if the project started losing hash rate or whatever. You've got some adjustable parameters here, so you can actually adjust the time. So currently the time is set at 1 hour. You can look at the electric cost. So this is quite a low electric cost, but it could span anything up to about 7p per kilowatt hour, or that's 7 cents, sorry. And then we come down to all the different parameters. So in this area here, you see what would be needed in order to put these calculations together. So in order to get your 29,000 tickets and your 421 PHs of hash rate, these are the calculations that will put this together and work out this final cost. So the first side on the left here is the cost of putting together an attack just in proof of work, and then on the right hand side you have the cost of putting an attack together just in proof of stake. So you can adjust this metrics here. So if you wanted to only do it based on proof of work with no tickets, you can actually move this dialog here. So you can actually say, right, I'm actually going to have very few tickets, but I'm going to have loads of hash rate, and it shows you exactly what you would need. So the minimum amount of tickets to put together a pure proof of work attack would be something like 400 tickets. But look at the amount of hash rate you would need, which is absolutely phenomenal. And then go the other way. If you didn't want to have as much proof of work, but you wanted to own all the tickets, it shows you how many tickets you'd have to own in order to put that attack together. So you'd physically have to have over 40,000 tickets. So this is a really interesting matrix, but as you come down into these sections, it actually breaks it down to you. So as it breaks it down, you can look at the proof of work attack. So as you work through it, kind of tells you a rough estimation of what it would cost you. So the proof of work side of things looks like it's going to come out at around 17 million based on this calculation, and the proof of stake attack for this calculation looks like it's going to come out at around 83 million, and that's where this number comes from. So by all means, you can come through this. I mean, this is going to be a fairly short video, because this is literally all I want to show you, that Decred actually provided the tool, so you can actually have a look at how much it would roughly cost to attack the chain, and the reason why you probably wouldn't want to do that, because you would have to own tickets and you would have to kind of have hashing power as well, or a mixture, or all or one or the other. So that brings us to conclusion today. By all means, have a look through the attack cost calculator, have a little play with it, see what it seems, and hopefully you'll come to a similar conclusion to me, that actual fact Decred, because of this hybrid proof of work, proof of stake, actually makes it a lot more secure. It makes it crazy secure. Now, if you like this content, if you want to support the channel, you can subscribe, give us a thumbs up, give us a comment below. You can also donate if you want to in Decred to this wallet here. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.
I don't know a lot about the Decred.
Kidding about flooding the system with money.
Yes, exactly.
And there's no end to your ability to do that.
We will do whatever we need to do to make sure that there's enough cash in the bank.
I wish I was more educated on Decred. Decred. He is bullish on Decred.